What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Brain Freeze back with another morning stream. This time we got Minecraft tutorial for YouTube. Yeah, I got a request to make a tutorial for how I build medieval houses in Minecraft, so I just decided I would dedicate this morning to experimenting with a few different styles on my Minecraft server. Step one would be to create some flat land for your build to go on. The flatter the better. At the very end, you're gonna want to put in some terrain around your build to kind of like make it fit, but in the very beginning you're gonna want to flatten out the land. Yeah, so here's a nice piece of land. So there's a couple things that you want to look at when you're creating your building. You're gonna want to decide what the purpose for your build is. It can be just a house, or it could be like a blacksmith, or like a tailor, like a wool shop, or it can be some sort of other shop. It could be, you know, a farmhouse next to a windmill. You're gonna want to think about like the setting, and then yeah, just like pick for your purpose. And then you're gonna want to pick your palette according to what the purpose of your building is and stuff. And since I have creative, I'm gonna use fancier blocks. Like I'm gonna go with the stone bricks. So step two would be to pick your reference. Reference is pretty important when it comes to making a building, because we didn't live in medieval times, so it's kind of hard for us to like know what was going on back then. This is the first one that I really liked. You could tell like it's not just a regular like rectangle, so like the sides of the building are interesting, the roof is interesting, it's got two chimneys, it's kind of got like an L layout with this like balcony feature in the middle. And then this one's cool because it kind of has like the bottom floor, but also like steps into a second floor, and it's got tons of floors. So it's a very tall house. There's a bunch of different styles, but what I would say my style is, I kind of go for a mixture of both. So like I like this because it's on a it features like a diagonal angle to it. And then also how it has this balcony and the steps going straight from the street. I thought that was awesome. But then also like this little alcove here. I don't know, because back in the day, like I was the shit. Like every server I went on, I was teaching people how to build like medieval stuff. And then I just got a request the other day asking if I could make a YouTube video about it. So I figured it would be a great time to revisit some Minecraft. Okay, so for these pillars, you're gonna want to make them 4 tall, because when you go to make your walls, you're gonna have a bottom layer, a top layer, a side layer, and a space for a window. It just works out perfectly just like that. Okay, bet. Fill in the walls a little bit here. Yeah, so this house is gonna be, it's gonna be small but pretty fancy. Just have a simple entrance right there. But yeah, when you're building these Minecraft houses, don't get too hung up on what your build looks like with no detail on it, because like when you're painting or creating something like art, it's always like, I don't know, there comes a point where you're just kind of looking at it and you like second guess like if you want to even keep going, because you're like, man, this is kind of ugly. But like as long as you stick with it and put in the time to like make your build, have all your personal touches and details, you'll eventually like save it. That's the first floor done. And then what I'm gonna do now is extend the second floor out onto these logs in the corner. And this is gonna give your build that medieval effect of getting larger as you go up. So now we have our second story. We're gonna make this one wood, because having the bottom story be stone, it's like a heavier material, and then you move up to the second story and it's just wood. And we're even gonna go for something crazy on the third story. So for this third story, we're pushing it. We're trying new stuff today. We're gonna go out another block just like before. Take it up 4. And in these corners here, you're just gonna want to put a third pillar. We might change it from wood later. Okay, so for this, we're gonna go with a mixture of white wool and light gray wool for the third story. So you want to work on the interior of your house at the same time as you're doing the exterior. A lot of the times I forget about this step because I just go crazy with the exterior. But the more you take time to make sure that the interior gets polished too, the better your build tends to be. So I put in this layer of stairs at the bottom to kind of help it fit more. All right, so now we have our 3 stories, so we could start working on the roof. Actually, let me go in and put one of these. And let me put the roof on before I start messing with all these details. So you can see the overall shape of the house is this L, right? There's something called a dominant roof and a recessive roof. This is how you can think of it. Your dominant roof is going to be the taller one, and of course your recessive roof is going to be the shorter one. Okay, and then same thing with the rule of odds. So the rule of odds means that in between your 2 structures there's an odd amount of blocks, and that will make sure that you have a middle block. Because if you don't have a middle block, if you have 2 middle blocks, when you come to a point on your roof, it's going to look like that, which isn't as aesthetic as something like this. You know, just 1 block. So that's our ginormous roof. It's the big dominant one. And then we'll have a smaller one on this side. With Minecraft roofs, I think it looks better if they're curved. So you're going to start with 1 block, and then you're going to do 2 blocks, and then you're going to do 2 blocks again, and then you're going to do 3. And this is going to be the base structure for your roof. So 1, 2, 2. I'm going to make this one 3, and then I'm going to make this last one also 3. That's going to create like a nice steep curve. Okay, so when you go to make your roof, the easiest way to start is by placing a block on top of the wood and then a stair leading into your next level. So you'll see it's gonna cover up the wood. So the material is going to be this plank, but it's being held, the roof is being held by this wood arch. And then when you get to the bottom, you put your little block here, and then you're also gonna wanna come out and put your block here. So now the curve looks like that. Hold on, let's make this come out one. So anyways, you just kind of continue covering up the wood, and repeat your same. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a corner right here. So this is the main corner of the build of the roof. Sorry, let me keep filling in the roof. I hate that awkward corner. And once you get done with the outer rim, you can extend your roof out 1 block so it overhangs. This helps with the depth, and actually it's realistic because roofs extend off the edge of your house, right? To keep the rain, off. Okay, and once you've done your 2 layers on the roof, you can go ahead and start connecting it all. Keep in mind when you're doing things like this, like kind of filling in like larger spots where you're just kind of like placing blocks over and over and again in a straight line, you want to be thinking about the structure, the overall structure you're creating, and thinking about what space you have for details. I try to watch House, but sometimes it's like, wait, that guy had a jelly bean in his stomach the whole time. That's why he had fucking schizoriasis, fucking plexidermicaph. And yeah, it was because when he was young, he must have fell on his pancreas and bursted his spleen, which caused him to fucking have 4 left toes going sideways. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, that makes no ass sense. Like, literally watch one House episode and you'll be like, what the fuck? Okay, and then make sure you make your very tip top row 3 tall as well to match with the sides. All right, so now with the roof all filled in, you're gonna want to move into your, some people make this part glass and make it like kind of more decorative, but for right now I'm just gonna fill it in with wood. Okay, yeah, so for these big windows, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a glass feature, but I'm not gonna make it all glass because that would just look too weak. I'm just gonna go ahead and put in some wood as well. Kind of mix it in. All right, the next step is to go in and put in the details. So some of the things that you could do with medieval builds is put in flower pots in front of the windows. You could put some cracked stone bricks or like different texture materials. You could put fences along. You can use balconies if you're feeling like a wall is super flat, like maybe like one of these like long walls, or this one in the back. This one in the back definitely needs some stuff on it. Or you could put something on the ground floor, like a little like workshop, like overhead area, just adding in some fences along the sides. It's gonna help create some depth and then introduce some new blocks. So this is gonna help make it look like the house was built on a foundation, like a little garden area here. And you could do whatever you want with these. There's no like set in stone thing. It's literally like whatever you think is aesthetic. So I'm gonna put a bench on one of the sides. So there you go. There's your little garden. And you see how much that adds to your build? It just kind of like looks like it's been there for a minute. You don't want your building to look super fresh. Like it has like, I don't know, it was just kind of like copy pasted into the world. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some window flower pots. These look really nice and add so much to your build. I'm not going to go too spammy with them though. I'm only going to put them on this wooden row because I want the build to look super diverse. You want to make sure that your details are different than what you could find in somebody else's build for sure. All right, so now we're going to move right on up to our third level. Actually, I think something that we can add is just a little bit of fence underneath this third level to kind of look like support. So for the third one, we're gonna make some shutters for the very top. And they're just gonna be simple, just like that, right on top. You don't want somebody to look at your build and instantly know how you built it. Just like you don't want to, you know, draw something and have someone know instantly how you drew it. You know, you want to make it look like there was a level of skill that went into it that makes your build worth looking at and exploring. Add some ladders to this level to kind of make it look like the wool needs to be kept in place. You know, maybe there's like, you know, logs, but they're like tiny sticks. Yeah, not tiny sticks, like support, you know. You don't want any wool like flying away on you or like getting loose or like anything like that. These homes are built to last. Okay, now we got to go in and choose what windows we want. Okay, so at this point I'm pretty happy with the walls. I want to work more on the roof because it's pretty flat and boring to me, and like I said before, you want to have like little details in there as well. So what I'm going to do is follow these lines of wood up and find a nice place to pop in a little feature. And you could do the same thing on the other side, but I'm actually kind of happy with the other side. I think the front mainly is what needs the most detail. Okay, and then so what I learned early on in my medieval journey is that you're supposed to extend the very corner of the house. So just something like that. Yeah, it looks like it's being held up by like a log on both sides. It looks, I like it. There's people that they do like dragon heads. They'll put like little eyes and stuff and then kind of make this look like a, you know, like a dragon mouth and stuff. And then another thing, it looks weird because it's like the only thing that connects these two pieces of the roof is this little corner piece here. So just go ahead and like put like a block underneath. Makes it look thicker and better. Okay, and what you could do here is you can kind of like mess up the build a little bit, like the roof. This is like texturizing the build. All right, and then another thing you could do is you could put chains with glowstone coming from the top. This is more fantasy, but also like medieval like inns would have something like this. and I feel like this build would look good with it. Maybe not like that. Hold on. Let me get this one so you can still see the glowstone. Wow. So after a few details, this is where we're at. Starting to look really good and really, you know, polished and stuff. So, you know, you could do stuff like make a mailbox out front. You put your mail in there. Yeah. It's for your little mail. You can't use it in Minecraft, but whatever. Oh, another question to ask yourself the whole time you're building pretty much is do you see a whole town of these? Like, could you replicate this style, and could you see a bunch of these like together? Because chances are, if you're making a settlement like one of these over here, I mean, this stuff is all kind of random, but a few of these houses look exactly the same, you know, not like the shape and everything, but their style is like pretty much the same. Okay, then we've got like purple castles and stuff, which, you know, magic mushrooms, it's different. But if you could if you want to make like a theme like this, that's how you would do it. The server, yeah, this server is still online, and it's never gonna go offline. It's never gonna have mods on it, and it's never gonna get deleted. So yeah, go ahead and join and build the house. But for the purpose of the tutorial, I mean, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, just make sure that all of your, I don't know, like the house fits into the surroundings well. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you need, let me know in the comments if you need any more tips and tricks on where to go after you build your house. Maybe like we could talk about like supporting details, like creating a story where, like, you know, you can make purpose for things, and then you start building off that. Like, you know, it's really close to this river, you know, there's a fish right there, so it's kind of like the next step would be make a fishing dock, and then maybe, you know, there's a fisherman's house or something. Like, now there's parrots here, so because Nibba's going off. But yeah, so the IP of the server is this right here.